Yo, what's up, guys? It's Parnellyx, and today we're doing a VOD review, a Warwick VOD review of a professional League of Legends match. Bob Jenkins, this crazy bastard, this genius, dark scientist, legend, he whips out the Warwick in Academy. It's CLG Challengers versus Wildcard. Now, I will say, he actually already pulled out the Warwick once, and I didn't cover this as a VOD review because the game was pretty boring and Warwick didn't really do too much throughout the game. They ended up winning. They won the game. He played against Renekton. I didn't think it was a good Warwick angle at all, honestly. It looked like he just picked it just to kind of like be annoying to Renekton. He got solo killed early, but then recovered pretty well, and not really much happens. So it was pretty boring of a game. I haven't looked at this one yet, but it looks like he did a lot more. So I figured let's just go ahead and just VOD review it live. I want you guys to see my first impressions of everything here. And yeah, he whips out the Warwick top lane
picks
right
up
here.
The lens needs to be able to needs
up against Copy with getting Rise, and then Jenkins with the Warwick. All right, we are getting the spicy picks. This is what I've been wanting for such a long time.
Okay, I mean we've definitely been seeing that.
And I'm gonna say, by the way, this Warwick pick is extremely godlike right here. Warwick into the four champions picked against the enemy team comp. I can't imagine what mid laner they'd have to pick to really screw over Warwick, or make the game annoying for Warwick. They're obviously not gonna pick specifically to counter Warwick, but like as it stands right now, Warwick is fantastic versus Ezreal, pretty good versus Zyra. I mean, Zyra is probably not the best matchup for Warwick to play versus in terms of team fights, but it goes fine. Like, she doesn't really have too much to offer. She's pretty burst heavy, and Warwick counters burst if he uses his E. So that's pretty good. The only issue is like the slows in her plants and her snare, but it's not really a big deal. And Warwick, well, he's obviously playing versus Zac top here, and Zac top is one of Warwick's best matchups. This matchup for Zac is nearly impossible if you know what you're doing on Warwick, especially if you're getting strong-sided. I doubt he's going to get strong-sided this game, just because that's how it is in pro play. But honestly, if there was ever a time to strong-side Warwick, it would be this game. Although, I guess they got a Caitlyn Ashe lane, so probably should be playing towards them a little bit. Maybe, like, I think that Poppy should probably come top lane a little bit. When not, like, you shouldn't, like, completely weak-side Warwick. It should be a little bit more balanced, but yeah, Warwick matchup top lane is insane. And versus Wukong jungle, Wukong cannot really gank Warwick very well at all, because Warwick can just Q through the knock. Like, that's the thing. The enemy team comp is a bunch of knockups. They have knockups and dashes and stuff, and Warwick Q obviously counters all of that. So if Wukong tries to gank Warwick, Warwick just holds Q to avoid the knockup, fears him away, walks away, and you're chilling. Or if Zac tries to jump on you with E, you just Q to avoid the knockup, fear him, and walk away. It's just going to be really good stuff here. So I want to see how this game goes.
Jenkins has been bringing out some of the wild picks up in the top lane, right? Just like Moose Hater, where they brought out the Warwick, we brought out the Clan into the Renekton as well.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
I will be straight up honest. I have played against Warwick. I have played against Zac. I have never seen these two top laners go head-to-head before. Both of them have a ton of sustain, and I suspect that Jenkins is really going to rely on some of the early game auto attack power that he has to create enough pressure.
Yes,
in
it's a very good matchup for Warwick.
This is probably the most unique draft I think we've gotten.
The Vel'Koz, by the way, in the mid lane, that's also another pick that Warwick. That's another champion that Warwick kind of counters. Honestly, it's again, it's kind of similar to Zyra, just because of like all the range that Vel'Koz has. Like, he can like throw out really long range poke and slow you down with your W. That's like the main thing. But Warwick can avoid the Vel'Koz E, and obviously you just can dive Vel'Koz super easily. So let's just, like, Warwick can literally do whatever the hell he wants this game. So this is like really exciting, because this is a true.
Poppy on one side, Zac, Vel'Koz.
This is a true Warwick angle in pro play. I've been like waiting for something like this for a while, where like sometimes I like see comps like this in pro play. Usually not like this wacky, but sometimes I'll see comps that are like similarly good for Warwick. I'm just like, if you just pick Warwick here, it's insane. But Jenkins actually did it. Let's just go ahead and just get right into the game.
This is just one of those matchups.
So he is going Flash, barrier, and lethal tempo this game. I'm honestly not sure. So barrier and pro play over TP, how is it? Seems kind of sketch, right? I think it's actually pretty. I think it's actually pretty good in some situations. Like I think sometimes you want to go TP and Warwick. Sometimes barrier is very, very good though. And I think in this situation, barrier is great because Warwick should be able to completely like avoid getting 1v2'd like most of the time, just because of having barrier, especially considering Zach can't really run ignite. So yeah, I think that's barrier is actually really good here. Lethal tempo. See, the thing is, against Zach, I think what I normally would do versus Zach is I'd go D shield start, and I would go grasp. I'm not sure. I think lethal tempo should be good though. It should be fine, especially considering there's a Wukong jungle. Like it gives you a lot better, lot stronger 1v2 potential. With the setup here. Oh, he's going for the Tokes cheese. He actually did this the last time as well, and he just doesn't give a fuck. This man just doesn't care. That's what I'm talking about, Jenkins. Show him who's boss. This is actually a good. Holy moly, man! This dude.
Better bust out the.
I want to see the. I want to see the past reactions actually.
Long exchange fights.
What a Chad!
I mean, you can do some crazy things, right? It allows you to heal up so much because Warwick is so good at low HP, but he doesn't want to be this good.
Or does he? He's fighting against Keel. He's getting the damage on top of him.
You can do this because they're weak level 1 and they have no ignite.
The Q was not enough to pick up the kill, and now he's trying to fight it out. He's 1v2! The barrier!
Oh my god.
Jenkins! What a man, lad! You better bust out the.
Wait.
This
dude is cracked.
My god, Jenkins has that dog. He takes down Keel in his own jungle.
He's got that dog in him. He really does. And that's just so yeah, again, you're able to go for that because they have no ignite. They have a really weak level 1, so you can 1v2 in that situation really easy with barrier and lethal tempo, especially. Like you need lethal tempo to go for 1v2s. If you have like grass or something, can't do that. But so if you're ever playing like obviously pros don't like know anything about Warwick, but like the counterplay to that is like, you know, if you see Warwick's running lethal tempo, you just gotta like have your mid laner kind of just hover that. If he's not taking lethal tempo, then you don't need to worry about it because he can't really go for that ever.
He's face checking this. He's face checking this, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, Zach's level 1 is not great. Wukong's is a lot better, but
yeah, like, Wukong's is pretty good.
I gotta keep auto
but you just focus down the Wukong and it's fine.
Like, around is 100%
Warwick just beats Wukong.
Playable, right? Keeping yourself in range of everything.
Zach's just kind of
switch over to
tickling.
Keel, and just the amount of healing that Warwick gets at level 1 is absolutely
crazy.
ridiculous. If this blast cone wasn't here, if they had taken it before the fight had started, that would have been another flash coming off of Mooseheader.
Oh, now they're zoning. So Poppy's coming top.
Keel's level 2. He's like, I need to do something to help Mooseheader.
Okay. So he's farming behind a turret
he needs to save himself.
because Poppy's there and he's just helping zone the Wukong off of his jungle camp. So now Wukong is being forced to recall and go to his blue side. This is like Wukong's completely out of the game right now. This is just not fair.
Jenkins doesn't have
this is amazing for Warwick too. Warwick can never die to a gank anymore. At this point, impossible unless like you get like
all-important picture with that one as well.
3-man 4-man. They have no ignites, by the way. They have no ignites on anyone. No ignites on anyone versus Warwick top lane.
It's the Warwick with the
That's
red
fantastic.
eyes. I post it like every single time I use the phrase.
So he's going pickaxe start. I think he's going into Bork. If you're going lethal tempo, go Bork most of the time. Really, like regardless of matchup. I mean, well, it does depend on the matchup, but you're usually gonna go lethal tempo and matchups where you think you can go Bork.
So. Not a lot of jungle. Look, Lens and Duo King have to try to rotate around.
And like I said, versus Zach, I'm not sure if grass or lethal tempo is better. I haven't played against a bunch of Zach lately. Like I play against Zach mid a lot more. I've been playing against a lot of Zach mid, and I always go grass in that matchup just because mid lane's a lot shorter of a lane, less all-in potential with lethal tempo. But I think lethal tempo should be fine.
To lane and see what happens. There's nothing else you could do.
If Zach tries to CC you, just Q through him, you fear him, you just auto attack him.
Josh, what else does he have?
I'm just saying, I want to praise Kevin the fact that he doesn't really
at this point, yes, he's doing what he just perma harass. Sadly, I can't actually like watch the entire lane.
This is just Kevy's getting
Cry.
the freest jump.
Right? You just sit there and bawl your eyes out because there's almost nothing you can do. Like, your mid lane is going okay, but they lost their flash road. Your top lane is a bit of a disaster.
It's no,
let me see real quick.
Doom.
What's the
Yeah. Jenkins
levels?
is going to just like take away a ton of farm and can probably start taking away.
Nice
oh,
flash.
God.
Bye-bye.
Oh
I'm
god.
gonna make sure it's not too loud.
All right.
But yeah, you can see he just constantly has. Well, he built up a slow push here.
I
I think because he was just kind of forced to. He's not able to freeze in this situation. But after this wave crashes, he really should look to try to set up a freeze on Zach. He has complete control in this lane. He can literally just he's gonna keep pushing. This is not a good situation. Well, actually, Zach is low HP, I will say, but considering Wukong is up here, even though he's level 3 and pretty weak, that still means that you can't really go for a turret dive. If Wukong does recall here, though, he probably can go for a turret dive.
We got to get a
Well,
counter,
actually, Zach has his passive. The thing is, you should be able to pop his passive. You can just Q auto. Yeah, but Q auto, and then just do it one more time. Pop his passive, walk out of the turret range, and you can also maybe kill him in his passive under turret. Potentially, it'll be tricky, but you can definitely. Oh, there you go.
Like right there, Jenkins like,
Boom.
oh, I got yeah.
I think he should have crashed the wave, because now he can't kill. With his ultimate up, he could have just shoved in the wave and broke up his passive, or forced out his passive, and then saved his ultimate for the re-engage. I think he could have gotten a kill there.
I don't want to say what we expected from Cloud9
if he crashed the wave before
this is the kind of thing that we were looking at a lot of our more
going for something like that
to be able to play up against the crazy things that Wildcard like to do. The one point of
because he could have crashed the wave, you know, broken his passive, disengaged the turret, and then could have probably went under turret and
going down to Kevy earlier on.
Kill his blobs.
They're missing out on experience. They're missing out on.
Okay, so Zach has the anti-healing now.
He's level 4.
Very strong.
He's level 4.
That's definitely going to be a pretty big. That's definitely going to be a pretty big power spike for him. But
okay, here's copy.
Yeah, but he's same level.
It's obviously like Warwick still has complete leverage over the lane. It makes Warwick killable at this point, but like not really. Barely killable. He's only killable if Warwick reads really hard, or if he gets ganked and just plays it poorly.
Okay, good 1-for-1 coming up from the bottom side. Lens gets.
Now it looks like he's going to be setting up a slow push in the top lane. My eyes are in top lane this game. I don't care what's happening around the rest of the map here. Okay, he's got a slow push building up.
But you know what?
Yeah, just walk out. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Hit him. That's what I'm talking. That's what you gotta do. Step behind the wave. Who cares if you miss a couple CS? Make the lane really hellish for Zach. Force him to recall after the wave crashes, or just kill him after the wave crashes. Warwick's ultimate should be up here soon as well. So
you build up CLG, I build up wildcard. This play,
he actually can maybe set up a dive.
Is going to be the casualty for it. Getting Lens a kill is still helping out. This is giving them something to play around for this mid game, especially around team fights.
Yeah. And suddenly, I mean, just the fact that he has to flash does mean that he's
this really is like this is the dream comp for Warwick and the dream situation.
Right.
Oh, now he's just gonna mess with Wukong even further.
Also joining the party, making sure that
he's got Poppy here, so he can go for it. Honestly, even without Poppy, he probably could do it. I'm not even joking. He could probably 1v2.
They know what happened last time. They got a lot of deja vu right there. Like, yeah,
but Poppy's going to secure the red buff. Like I said, Warwick being strong-sided this game is great. He's not like strong-sided in the sense that, like, Poppy's really not playing for lanes here. She's really playing to deny the Wukong, but she's like taking his red and forcing him out of this side of the map. Just means that Warwick can just run the game.
Look how much vision there is in the
but Jenkins, I'll say, he should be looking to freeze a lot more. That's like that's his big problem. I'm here. If he, like, you definitely want to start pushing in.
They are.
At like 10 minutes or so, something like that.
Just one dire wolf is enough to take him down.
Or at least when you get your first item, you definitely want to start pushing in. But
has no passive.
Like he's letting Zach farm when Zach should just not be allowed to farm. Like he could actually be zoning Zach out of XP range.
It is going to help out this
he could keep Zach at like level 6 here. Like Zach, if he looked for a freeze, as opposed to constantly pushing in here, he could just have Zach level 6 and like 30 CS.
remain relative.
And it would just be
Yeah.
not even close. Because Warwick's tower taking potential at this point right now is not very good. Now, of course, Warwick is, you know, helping bully out the enemy Wukong out of his own jungle. So it's good to push in to support the Poppy invade.
I mean, a big part of that
But
was
honestly,
CLG devoted so much resources towards the top half of the map, bringing Breezy up.
I mean, like outside of that though, he should be looking for freezes. Like he should crash it when, or look to crash it when, you know, trying to deny the Wukong camps, and then just look to freeze. And at this point, like it doesn't even matter if you deny Wukong any further, because if you give Wukong some camps or give him access to the top side, Warwick can 1v2 anyways. Oh my god, this is actually so brutal for Wukong. Literally can't play the game.
Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. Kevy just living in Keel's jungle because his team has so much more.
Yeah, if I was gonna say like
I mean, if you're Saligo,
like Warwick's, like Jenkins is doing pretty good in Warwick, but he definitely could be doing a lot more if he was playing more for a freeze.
Your jungle isn't around
is he freezing right here?
And so Kevy
I can't really see how the wave is.
Like, hello, please back up.
It looks like he's slow pushing again, I think.
Saligo's not able to build up a lead.
I'm actually curious as well with his runes. Does he have Demolish? I don't think he has Demolish. I think he has Second Wind, Revitalize.
Assassin against Vel'Koz, where you're like, I can keep everyone at bay. They can't reach me that easily.
Yeah, if he had Demolish, he would have like 3 plates by now.
Yeah,
not that you should be running Demolish here. Like I said, it's still a really good match for Warwick, so you could get away with it, but it would be really, really greedy. And you would only really want to do that, I think, if you planned on getting strong-sided.
We do have to remember that in
and even then, I don't even know if I would do that in this matchup, because Second Wind is just really good value. Because the thing is, the Second Wind is just going to out-heal. Like, Second Wind in your passive, in your life, like just your natural lifesteal is going to out-heal Zach's like small amount of damage. Wukong doesn't do too much damage. Because they don't do too much damage, the Second Wind is just higher value. Because it makes you way more obnoxious to kill.
It's still very good. You just like eliminate one person from the game, but you don't get as strong off of it as you used to.
But it is Wukong still, and Wukong does as Wukong does, which is use Cyclone.
I'm pretty sure the game is going to go
effectively use that,
and just like this for the next 5 minutes straight. But Warwick does have his Bork power spike. Warwick has his Bork. So at this point, you do want to be looking to push in more and attack these plates and just bully the Zac under his own turret.
Coming out from CLG challengers. But it hasn't broken open just quite yet. So we've been spending so much time looking at the top side of the map, and
there you go. Just like, see, like.
I think Moose Hater should be fine. He's got his passive back up, using Let's Bounce, helping him out. He might win this fight. No, it's not.
No, he doesn't win it.
There's still a barrier.
Looks like he wins it, but he doesn't win it.
Trying to heal up with the Bloblets. Jenkins realized.
But I will say that does actually.
But okay. You know, we've talked a lot about
Warwick, Jenkins putting himself in that position to get balanced into the turret means that he can't harass Zac further on this turret. He could have disengaged a lot sooner, and then like he could have been able to do Zac twice in the turret here, and Zac would have to recall. But now Zac was able to collect the wave freely, and he's able to stay in lane for one more wave.
He's been doing to play around him, especially looking up against a team like Wildcard, a team that has played. You know,
Poppy's coming up
very wildly. Has Copy been keeping control of Saligo?
See if they can. Okay. Oh, he's just going for it. That's fine. You just shove in the wave.
He still has passive.
Burn his.
Here. This might be a dive. We'll get back to
yeah, this is a big dive.
And Copy are here.
There's the TP, but it's too late. He tries to clear out with the last slingshot, misses the stretching strike, but Saligo could be the savior. They turn onto Saligo.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. I was wondering why they didn't just go for the Zac there and burn his passive.
Jenkins, the barrier.
Oh, the barrier. Barrier tech, bro. You love to see it.
I love that turn. They see the potential dive onto Moose Hater. Sligo comes up, and they instantly be like, no, we're not going for it. The tank, we're going for the squishy member, and they all back away. Keel not able to find
yeah, I wonder if Warwick could actually win that 1v2. I think probably not without barrier. If Warwick had Sud barrier ult there, he actually be able to 1v2 right there. He could have canceled his recall.
The answer turns into a resounding yes. All of a
okay, so now he has boots and
will not
Negatron cloak.
Do the crazy
not Negatron, null magic mantle.
And again, it's all about this target.
I think he's going Radiant Veil this game. Or sorry, Radiant Virtue.
Any damage to Zac before they actually start.
This is not a game, by the way, where you'd want to go Radiant Virtue.
3 and A
I don't think.
whole fourth and he gets out with a sliver of HP.
Well, honestly, it
honestly
probably doesn't really matter too much.
With Copy and how he's really fit in with this team.
It actually, maybe it is pretty good. Because I was gonna say like Divine, especially considering you're ahead right now, I think Divine would be amazing. Like you're just going to so much kill pressure and everything, anything that ever gets near you. But you are gonna be squishy in fights. I mean, the thing is, when you're ahead though, is you can just build Divine right now, go into Divine and just snowball a lot harder throughout the mid game, extend your power spike. And then just start building defensive right afterwards, and it shouldn't be a big deal. This is also a game where you should be going CDR boots.
Had to learn how to play with someone like Jenkins, who we've seen be very successful.
I think played steel caps aren't really that great value this game. Merc treads aren't good value.
As well. This time, it's
just go CDR boots this game. More Qs, more E's.
With the Warwicks.
Yeah. And he's done a good job. I mean, he's been really pushing for this. The story I heard was that he played up against a Warwick one-trick top lane in Korea and was like, huh, this is pretty good. Maybe we should give this a little bit more.
Wait, he played against a Korean Warwick one-trick? Wait, he didn't play against me?
Every single time.
Wait, so I didn't inspire him. Some master tier Korean player inspired him. Is that what you're saying?
I like that. Juice,
I'm offended here.
I like him as a coach. He's just like, you know what, fine. I trust you. Let's let the players try something.
You know, at least if it was Renekton, the other Warwick player, Renekton, he inspired him. You know, I'd take that at least.
Second that I remember.
Yes.
Okay. Korean dude.
I thought it was a second as
I felt like
both performances looking for.
You know, whenever I play against pro players and I smash them in lane, I think they always just kind of write it off as just NHGs. When they play against a Korean, that when it's Korean solo queue, they're like, oh my god, he's just so advanced, he's just so good.
Trust me, I know how to play.
NA player, it's like, he's just a bad one trick dude.
Nice flash from Duo King to survive. Kevy was right there. That
doesn't know how to play the game properly and just knows how to just right click.
Cleanse did have cleanse, so he might have been able to live, but this constant pressure in the mid lane, pushing Duo.
I don't know the actual story though, so.
Not long for this world.
Jenkins continues.
But Warwick is definitely
be
should be played more in pro play. I always say this. He's pro viable. He's been pro viable before. He's actually been he's absolutely been meta a couple times, and like not meta, but like should have been meta a couple times in pro league.
So hard for me to
I think once in the jungle he was really good. He's been a good couple times in the top lane. Right now he's pretty decent. He has really good matchups into Fiora and Cassante, which are two very popular top laners, especially Cassante, really popular. Warwick is pretty good. He doesn't like hard counter Cassante or anything, but he can just bully him in lane, and Warwick still is going to scale pretty well. So it kind of just depends. In that angle, you'd only want to pick Warwick into Cassante if you think Warwick scales well into the enemy team. So, for example, if you pick Cassante here, if instead of Zac it was Cassante, it would still be a godly Warwick pick. Because Warwick just does so well into the enemy team comp. Warwick becomes a team fighting god.
He lost 3 turrets.
Zac's got his Radiant Virtue here.
Depend on Jenkins and where Jenkins goes.
Warwick's got the top turret. He's up 40 CS.
Jenkins goes back top lane. Lane phase not over.
He's got
Well, look at the gold lead, right? 7,000.
He has Oracle.
In favor of CLG challengers right now. They have absolutely taken control of
I usually don't take Oracle in the side lane.
In basically everywhere but the bottom lane. Right?
But
how far ahead Copy is because they've gotten so many plates.
You know, if you're on the same page as your team, you can make like he can deny a ton of vision and Wukong's topside jungle.
That is so much extra money just from neutral.
Make it really hard for him to play the game even more.
It's going to be a while before wildcard can.
We're just gonna go top lane here. There's nothing really happening. Dragon's up in a minute and a half, so probably best to just clear out this wave, clear out the next wave, maybe push out the next wave, and then look to rotate mid, get mid prio. Actually, maybe just get mid prio after this wave because it's a minute before. Usually good to show up early. Like it's better to show up earlier than later to an objective fight. But he's got Tiamat, so he's actually going for Titanic here.
And we'll have a second item completed in about 5 to 10 minutes.
I think that's fine, actually, because Warwick's ahead. Like at this point in the game, he really wants to, like, he's looking, the reason why you go Tiamat here, Titanic's not going to give you, like, the best team fighting power, but it's going to allow you to be, it's going to allow you to shove out waves. There we go, Warwick's here, doing some work.
Clearly in the lead, hunting down
what I'm talking about.
Doesn't have that flash. Jenkins, he smells.
That's my man. Oh, he just doesn't care.
blind.
That's what I'm talking
Oh
about.
man, the blood trail coming through, showing him where he might be. The flash just catching him right
Yeah,
there.
the one commentator right there
They were ahead before.
mentioned that it's not blind. He can see where he's at. I know. I love it when people think that I'm going for these sick blind alts.
Oh.
I really do appreciate it, but it's not. Like I can actually see where they are. They have a trail. To be fair, blood trail is kind of like buggy and inconsistent, and awkward sometimes, so it's not super precise all the times. But
the arrow connects. It's such a long amount of CC, right?
So
still got the idea.
The only criticism we really have here is Meech unfortunately used the net.
That was a nice. That was a really nice setup there.
Else, right? They are so
really nice setup.
King can't really do
oh, but then
much.
Caitlyn gets
as soon as Jenkins
blanked.
gets here, there is nowhere left for Soligo to go either. And
But Warwick is just
flight coming out from CLG
gaming.
And if Meech had pressed E in the correct direction, they would have gotten a clean ace out of it.
But yeah, anyways, so what I was saying about the Tiamat buy though, Tiamat's really good in this situation because he's got like nothing to really do. He's got the top turrets, so with Tiamat you can shove out top waves a lot faster. Keep the enemy top laner pins to under his top lane tier 2 turret, and you're going to constantly have pressure of the map because you can roam mid or bot or just do whatever. Go with your team without falling behind in CS.
Back to Moscow 5
and you'll just have better map pressure. Like it's like Tiamat here is great for just map pressure, literally. It's good for tempo. Oh, what an insane Poppy ultimate. There you go. That right there. See how Warwick was able to Q through Wukong ultimate. Couldn't get knocked up.
Crazy stuff.
No big deal. Normally
Wukong
is really safe in his ultimate, but Warwick just Qs over it and just whack him.
I'm seeing assist me pings already at the
10k gold lead at 21 minutes.
Oh, I think CLG can.
Pretty brutal. I mean, this game is literally unwinnable for wildcard here.
Warwick history. Dardarian. Really good top.
I mean, I guess there's a world where they could pull off the comeback, but that would require a lot of mistakes from CLG challengers here. It would require like a Baron steal and like stalling out to like Vel'Koz and Zyra and Ezreal all have like 4 items, so they can like poke a lot.
Just to see if he can get it banned. And the biggest one that I remember is Warwick, where he consistently played it and trying to see if he could draw a single ban on it. All he wanted was it to get banned. It got banned once, he never touched it again.
I've done that before. Admittedly, not as
Or was
well,
he talking about?
It's always fun seeing what you can get your opponents.
The one guy from Gambit, or sorry, Moscow 5.
Like right before
Darian? Is that his name? I can't remember, dude.
And be like, huh, I don't know how
For some reason I can't remember. I always remember his name.
Well or not, but if you do well, like it's a free ban every time. But here we go. CLG.
I watched League back in the day, so
the top side of the map,
I remember these people. Okay, so it looks like he's going for Radiant Virtue here. So yeah, he's gonna look to just have wave clear with Tiamat, just push out the wave, and now he can group with his team for Baron, and just probably look to force out Zach's TP before committing to this. To be honest, with how fed blue team is, with how ahead they are, they probably could just look to just do the Baron.
He's barely playing the game now, right? Like
in front of their faces. Not that you want to 50-50 it, but you could look to start it and then look to turn. You could actually probably turn with Ryzalt, like low key, or you could look to pop the ult to Wukong away. Although that's a little bit risky because Wukong W, but you could do something like that.
They're nearly 10k down at 24.
They should look to pressure Baron here. I think they're resetting.
Have 2 items on.
Now, granted, these are academy teams, so they're not always going to play the fastest, but
you talked about the lack of damage on Keel.
You should look to play
out of Moose Hater as well.
relatively fast at this point. Like you shouldn't just be like handshaking farming waves. Okay, wildcard. Okay, they go for really nice pick. That's right there. Right there is why you don't want to handshake waves, because you just open up the opportunity for something like that to happen.
Yeah, good stuff coming out. Just noting that CLG being a little bit sloppy with their position.
Like I think they should just look to start the Baron, and they can just look to like Ryzalt into
those picks right now if you're wild card. You're so far behind,
a turn.
A measure of gold is better than 0.
Sends like Poppy and Warwick.
The question will become,
in with Ryze ultimates.
Get to the next dragon, because look at this difference in the top side, right? Copy is level 6.
Have like Caitlyn walk around the side.
That's a 3-level difference.
And you can just kind of flank them.
Ryze at level 6,
they have like really
extra damage.
Oh wow, 3k gold lead in the top lane.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow, that's a 4K gold lead in the mid lane.
They can burst through this Baron super quickly with the double marksman and Rise at this point.
Rise is his death cap, dude. This is just impossible. This Rise is going to just completely smurf on the game.
Walk away, go see what you need, and the Warwick will eventually just take Baron. I've done it. I did it when they did reworked Warwick.
So, I mean, for CLG, it has been a bit of a different game than we were expecting. We came into this one expecting to talk a lot more about Meech and Breeze, and they've done.
They need to just yeah. They're going for the Baron now. They're doing a duo Baron with Rise Poppy. This is also really good because duo Baron here. They're not gonna like really actually take too much damage because Poppy's really tanky. Rise does good damage. She does good enough to keep DPS, and they're able to keep mid prio with Caitlyn and Ashe. They have really good wave clear. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Yeah. Risk a flip. They're able to get too close.
For so long, and here comes the cavalry.
It's not the best executed, but good enough. Warwick just goes in, uses ultimate as a gap close.
There's no escape. There's only
you don't need to hit your ultimate on Warwick
for
it to like be valuable. I mean, honestly, hitting Warwick ultimate isn't like it's not the strongest ultimate in the world. The dash is honestly half of what makes it strong.
Whenever they want CLG doing
especially versus the enemy team comp, like playing against Vel'Koz, Ezreal, and Zyra, you just need to get on top of them, and then you can just kill them easily. Even someone like Vel'Koz, you can, Q through his E to avoid getting kited.
Of this game. This is where
Ezreal, you can follow his arcane shift.
Drawing of bans where I talked about Warwick, and it's probably gonna look like a game 2 angle to take away that champion. Right there, Keel, again.
I don't know if you actually ban Warwick in this situation, if you're a wild card here.
I mean, this is confidence too from Cosmo,
like, unless you really want, unless you see like the Zac is open.
Immediately, and they did, and it just
no damage.
And you want to play Zac, but
what does it matter if they're not actually gonna? It's not actually gonna hurt anybody.
Warwick still has lots of meta counters. Like Jax is Warwick's hardest counter, and Jax is like really OP in pro play. So
top of the standings, we have to expect at this point. And
he also plays Garen, and honestly, like Warwick versus Garen matchup is.
Bottom half teams.
It's so like far, actually a little bit like CLG is not. I don't know how to describe how it's. I think in pro play it might be more Garen favored. In solo queue, I actually like it, but if Garen plays safe enough and is just really patient and just farms waves, it's actually pretty good for Garen.
Yeah.
Because he can just one-shot Garen or Warwick in fights, or help one-shot Warwick in fights with his ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to ask,
so Warwick's not going to scale as well versus Garen usually.
What do you do? Because we're expecting the draft.
Just because Warwick can just get like Garen ultimate really like hard counters Warwick.
CLG will be getting over Zac again because they will be expecting a Warwick ban.
Yeah, I would expect a Warwick ban as well. With this level of performance, the domination that has set up everyone on CLG.
No, I'm telling you, it's not a Warwick ban angle unless you have like Zac. Unless you're trying to pick Zac here.
On the island, not the top lane.
But honestly, I doubt, because of the level 1, I doubt that they even expect that this is a counter. They're probably like, Warwick doesn't counter Zac. It's just he just got the level 1 cheese. That's all it was. That's our jungler couldn't help out, so it's just cheese.
I don't know, Riftmaker.
That's how people think all the time.
True. I mean, AP Warwick is a real.
They're gonna have to lose to Warwick like 10 times before they even think about banning it.
Now CLG, the one thing that they will have,
even if it's just blatantly like a terrible matchup.
We've kind of seen that come out a little bit, as even with the Baron, they haven't been able to break any of these inhibitor turrets open, and so Vel'Koz, just as we saw with APA's Ziggs yesterday.
Okay, so he's just keeping mid prio here with the Tiamat. Tiamat definitely helps in this situation a lot as well. This is a clutch Tiamat angle. Very, very clutch Tiamat angle.
If you just jump on him with a 4
if you get ahead and you want to keep tempo up, go Tiamat.
Soligo can't wave clear as efficiently. He survives, which is going to be a saving grace. And but the thing is,
if your entire team is ahead, then Tiamat's really good because it just, like I said, it helps keep the map pressure up. Sometimes you don't need map pressure though. Sometimes you need team fight power.
Yeah, you're looking for a window, not gonna.
Then going into Titanic would not be the best.
Can't wave clear where you aren't. Soligo having a bit of a tough one as the veteran of the team this game because he was not able to get support.
Actually, I'm curious. I did not see what Jenkins actually maxed.
Now Wildcard kind of paying the price a little bit.
I should have paid attention to that.
Just a little bit.
I'll go back and check that out actually after this game ends.
Where you got good wave clear on Wildcard.
You should be doing like 3 points in Q, 2 or 3 points in Q, and then
clearing for the next 10 straight minutes. It's not like
and then max out W or E.
Like a minute or two.
I'm not sure which one's actually better in this situation. I think personally I would do like 3 points in Q, 3 points in W, and then Emax.
There's so much vision control that has been laid down by CLGC.
I think 2 points in W is going to give you like you do need a little bit of damage in DPS versus Zach. And they don't have a ton of burst, but I also think that you can't like. I think you're gonna need some points in E because
lack of damage.
Maxing out W is playing very heavily into like just laning prowess and just being able to duel your lane opponents. And I think like Zach eventually, like by that point, like by the time you're like level 9, level 10, Zach can actually like play safe enough that he's not going to get murdered in the side lane. Or he's not going to die. He's not going to chain feed. So you'd rather just max out E and just have that extra team fight defensive power. And Zach can also kind of kite you out pretty well too, once he has some health.
Since then, CLG have been able to pick up everything, and ooh, I like this a lot. Sorry, Moose Hater, you don't get a farm.
No. Jenkins is slowly.
Finishes TM
the
up.
problem is he has Titanic, so he can't really super slow push the lane.
Yeah.
But it is still denying Moose Hater.
Actually, I mean, this build actually is pretty good. I mean, the only issue is you lack a lot. Okay, he went Merc Treads, by the way, which is complete grief. You should be going CDR boots 110% of the time here. Like, yeah, the magic resist is kind of nice because they have triple AP, but CDR boots are just too good this game. They're way too good. Especially considering you're getting flash barrier. You also get that extra CDR in some spells. So they got to pick on Rise though.
Because they're going to be picking up so much in return for yes, it's a huge shutdown that goes over, but
still a complete stomp. 15k gold lead. I don't think the kill on Rise matters too much here.
In a couple of seconds.
This is getting real.
Yeah, now just play for the soul. Warwick. Nearly griefing. You probably wouldn't have died there, but he would have been forced to use his ultimates if he got cancelled. That would be pretty bad going into this next fight.
Yeah,
I think also, yeah, like with a build like this, with the lack of CDR, you're more reliant on your ultimates as well. Because you're not able to spam your Q and your E enough to, or especially your Q, you're not able to spam your Q enough to stick.
Crowd control, the slows they need for catches, and Copy. He's got so many different places to teleport to.
So you're more likely to get kited.
No, they're realizing that too. Their ports are there. They're going back to base. Baron being pinged by CLG.
Yeah, you should definitely go CDR boots this game.
And that should be an open opportunity, invitation into the pit.
As they start chunking it out, remember Meech is.
I mean, like I said, I think he could have definitely afforded to go Divine this game, but honestly, considering. I think actually it was definitely good the way he did it because the timing of the Tiamat buy, getting Tiamat after the Warwick really helps with tempo and keeping his team ahead, allowing his team to push the pressure. And then by the time, like, you don't want to get Divine after all of that because like by that point you're team fighting so much you'd rather just be at this point you'd just rather be tanky.
Copy spent a lot of time just hiding in that.
I think his build is actually
now this should be
good.
The end of the game. Another 30 seconds before Keel can come up, and even in a 3v1, it's not.
Man, I really want Jack Show to be buffed though. Item's so good for Warwick, but the item is just so so bad at the moment. It's not so bad. It's just not good. It doesn't feel like a great item anymore. It doesn't feel like, I mean, it was OP before, but it doesn't feel like a good item. It was a great item before, and it skipped good, and now it's mediocre. And now it looks like we just in the game. We just ults the Zach. Holy moly, they shredded that Zach.
He's into the bloblets, and immediately he is into the grave as another kill
for Warwick. Thank you very much. Huge. Bob Jenkins, legend. Like I said, I actually want to go back here.
Again, have to give so much credit over to the solo laners, Jenkins, CLG.
I want to go back here and I want to see what Warwick was maxing here. There we go. Okay, so he maxed out Q and W. This is bad. This is really bad. You don't want to max out Q all the way. You want to do 3 points in Q. 2 or 3 points in Q. because you're gonna just yourself more often. You can't spam as much. The value, like you get a little bit more healing with your Q every time you put a point in it, but just 2 or 3 points is good enough. After that, especially considering after Zach buys his Oblivion Orb, you just want to stop putting points in Q, regardless. But just Q value is not that amazing. Putting points in W, maxing W is good. So, you know, first it'd be good to like max out W after. But like having 1 point in E at this stage of the game, when you're level 13 on Warwick and you have 1 point in E, that's really bad. Warwick E is really, really strong. So you definitely don't want to, like by the time like team fights come around, which is generally around this time of this game, you want to have your E with at least a couple points in it. You want to get it maxed out as soon as you can by the time team fights are coming around. So that was definitely a mistake there in terms of just skill order. But overall, game was pretty good. Like I said, I think he could have frozen more, but he was trying to play with his jungler to deny the enemy Wukong, so it kind of made sense. Although I think he could have looked to freeze like 1 or 2 times and gotten like a level lead or like a level and 20 CS lead over Zach. That's like even further. And build wise, it was actually really good, except for he should have gone CDR boots this game. Didn't really matter at this stage of the game, to be fair, but definitely could have gone for CDR boots. It's just way too good a value. But really good stuff from Jenkins, and I hope to see him pick the Warwick more. I'm rooting for him, especially when he picks the Warwick. I'm gonna root for him in general though now, because he's kind of based, he's kind of enlightened, and like I said, Warwick is actually pretty good in pro play. Like in some situations, he's not overpowered by any means. He's definitely not blind pickable, but he's definitely like a counter pick that should be considered more often. And honestly, not even just, well, in jungle, I don't know if you'd really want to pick Warwick jungle in pro play too often. Like there's situations where Warwick jungle works, but it's less often than top. Top is already pretty situational. You technically can actually pick a mid lane as well, but obviously no one's going to be picking a mid lane. So I think top and mid are his 2 best bets here, but top lane especially should be seen more value. But let me know what you guys think of this VOD review. Thanks for watching. Peace out. God bless you.